So what's the difference between iodated table salt and iodated sea salt? Well, a lot of people have been asking, and I have a background in chemistry and applied chemistry, so I think I'll take this one. So first of all, the biggest difference is where they come from, where they are sourced. Now, as the name suggests, sea salt comes from the sea, and table salt mostly come from mines underground. So for sea salt, seawater is pumped into shallow ponds, and then these shallow ponds are allowed for the water to evaporate out, leaving out the salt to crystallize. And that salt is then broken down, and then it's packaged and then sent to you. So not a lot of refining is done on that salt. Now, as for table salt is mined from deep mines underground. That salt is brought up, it's crushed, dissolved, refined, sometimes it is bleached, and then they also add anti-clogging agents so that it doesn't stick together. It remains as grains. Now, the same cannot be said about sea salt, because sea salt usually it's a little bit more flaky. Now, there's another one which is rock salt. So rock salt also usually comes from deep underground, the same as table salt, but it's never usually refined as much, and some of it is not even good to be used for food. Some of it is used for de-icing in the roads and all other uses. Now, you might be wondering, how does salt end up deep underground? Well, almost all of the salt that we know of comes from the ocean. So what happens is that in the past, in ancient times, there used to be oceans in those areas, and then those oceans evaporate and die out, and then salt crystallizes, and then it ends up being buried deep underground, and that's how we get to it right now, by mining. Now, what about the iodated? What does that mean? Well, that usually means that iodine, a mineral called iodine, has been added into the salt. Now, you're probably wondering, why would we want to add this mineral into the salt? Well, usually it's a government requirement. So iodine is a mineral that is very important for children when they're growing, for their brain development, and also for thyroid hormone production. So if you don't have enough thyroid, you can develop something called a goiter, which is like a huge thing when your thyroid glands swell. So usually governments require producers of salt to add iodine into your salt. So there you go. The biggest difference is that one of it comes from the sea. It is usually not as refined, and then the other one comes from deep mines underground, and it's usually refined quite a lot. A lot of things are removed, it is bleached, and they also add anti-clogging agents so that it doesn't stick together into lumps. And then you have rock salt, in which we grew up usually using it. Many people still prefer to use rock salt, the one which is bigger lumps and bigger grains. And that one usually it's mined underground, it's refined a little bit, and then it's sent straight to your table. And some of it is not even food grade, so it's used for the icing. So that's the biggest difference between those three types of salt. Now, if you like this kind of information or science in general, please subscribe to my YouTube account. The link is in the bio above, and then I will see you there.